When we talk about credit risk in a portfolio, there are two very important concepts, expected loss and unexpected loss. Let's start with expected loss. Expected loss is the average loss a bank expects to face in normal conditions. It is predictable. It is calculated using three things: exposure amount, probability of default, and loss rate. The formula is simple: expected loss equals exposure multiplied by probability of default multiplied by loss rate. If we have multiple loans in a portfolio, we simply add the expected loss of each loan. So, portfolio expected loss is just the sum of individual expected losses. Now let's move to unexpected loss. Unexpected loss is the extra loss that can happen due to uncertainty. It is not predictable like expected loss. It measures the risk or volatility around the average loss. So for a portfolio with two assets, the formula for portfolio unexpected loss is the square root of UL1 squared plus UL2 squared plus 2 multiplied by correlation multiplied by UL1 multiplied by UL2. The important thing here is correlation. Correlation shows how the two assets move together. If correlation is high, both loans are likely to default together, and risk increases. If correlation is low, diversification reduces risk. That is why portfolio risk is usually lower than the simple sum of individual risks. Now let's understand risk contribution. Risk contribution tells us how much each asset adds to total portfolio risk. It helps us see which loan is increasing risk more. For asset 1, risk contribution equals UL1 multiplied by the bracket UL1 plus correlation times UL2, divided by portfolio UL. For asset 2, the formula is similar. When we add both risk contributions together, we get total portfolio unexpected loss. Now let's quickly understand with a simple example. Suppose asset X has exposure of 5 million, probability of default 2%, and loss rate 40%. Asset Y has exposure of 3 million, probability of default 3%, and loss rate 50%. The expected loss of asset X becomes 40,000 and that of asset Y becomes 45000. So total portfolio expected loss is 85,000. Unexpected losses are 120,000 and 80,000, and correlation is 0.25. Using the portfolio formula, total unexpected loss becomes 160,000. Then we calculate risk contribution. Asset X contributes 105,000 and asset Y contributes 55,000. When we add both, we again get 160,000, which matches portfolio unexpected loss. This shows an important concept: diversification reduces risk, and correlation plays a major role in portfolio risk measurement. Now let's quickly understand diversifiable and undiversifiable risk. Diversifiable risk is firm-specific risk. It is the risk related to one company or one borrower. For example, if one company fails due to poor management, that risk can be reduced by adding more loans to different companies. This is called diversification. Undiversifiable risk, on the other hand, is market risk. It affects the entire economy, like a recession or financial crisis. Even if the bank has many loans, this risk cannot be eliminated. So remember, expected loss is predictable average loss. Unexpected loss measures risk. Portfolio risk depends heavily on correlation. And risk contribution shows how much each asset adds to total risk.